Well, good news, guys. The DC Cinematic Universe is now 1 for 4. So Wonder Woman is directed by Patty Jenkins and stars Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, and a number of other actors kind of sprinkled in there. Basically, you have Gal Gadot's character Diana, aka Wonder Woman, who's Amazon on this secret Amazonian island. They were put there by Zeus for various reasons. And one day Chris Pine stumbles upon their island, and it's during World War II, and he has to go fight. And Diana's character also wants to fight because she believes in liberty and America. It's not limited to America. Now it's just all humankind, I guess. So she goes with him, also wanting to fight a certain someone who I won't get into. And we have our movie. And in my opinion, the first good movie that's actually in the DC Cinematic Universe. I mean, looking back, Man of Steel was okay, but still a disappointment. Batman v Superman was no. And I never actually saw Suicide Squad, but I heard enough things that hasn't made my excitement to do so very high. Wonder Woman, on the other hand, I would not say is necessarily a great movie, but it is definitely a very fun movie. So starting off with what I like about the film, I thought the cast was really good. Gal Gadot, I'm not sure which it is. It's one or the other. I'm just gonna say Gal Gadot. I thought she was really good in this role. She fit the part in Batman v Superman, but you didn't really care about her character or know her character in that movie. In this one, you actually get a backstory and like where she comes from and what she wants to do. And I don't think I even need to mention that Gal Gadot is a stunningly beautiful actress. And her character in this movie, she's kind of adorable in just what she wants to do. She's kind of like a female Steve Rogers in the sense she wants to fight for humanity to save everyone and do what's right. But she also has this innocence to her, to the extent that makes her seem kind of naive just because she grew up on this Amazonian island. She doesn't know the realities of the world. And that kind of ties into a plot element that I kind of appreciated in the film. Also, I thought Chris Pine was great. I mean, Chris Pine always brings that charisma to the screen. These two are like the main characters in the film. You have some other actors who I don't know their names, and you don't really get to know their characters, but they're enjoyable to watch, and I think the film gets you to care about them even though you don't know a ton about them. You could also definitely tell that they were going for more of a lighter, more fun tone for this film than previous DC Cinematic Universe films. I mean, Man of Steel was not brooding and dark, but it was kind of. Batman v Superman, they were going all out dark and brooding and over the top. Honestly, it felt more like a Marvel Cinematic Universe film in that sense. It didn't seem quite as heavy-handed. They were cracking more of the jokes, and it was lighter, and it was fun. I also enjoyed the story in this film a lot more than previous DC films. There definitely were a lot of Captain America similarities, that is for sure. But heck, if they're able to incorporate a superhero movie with like almost a war movie at the same time, I am all for that, and I thought they did that pretty well for the most part. And for that reason, this goes into another thing that I appreciated about this film. They hold back on the destruction. I mean, in Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, those movies are crazy with destruction and chaos. You have Superman and Zod crashing through buildings and everything is everywhere. In Batman v Superman, you have Doomsday and Batman and Superman all fighting together and everything's blowing up and burning everywhere. It's ridiculous and totally over the top. In this one, it's actually a lot more grounded, especially because a lot of it almost feels more like a war movie than a superhero film. And even like the end skirmish between Wonder Woman and the villain, who I won't say, it could have been super over the top and equally as destructive, but I actually felt that they contained it as much as they could given like the level of powers that these characters had. Also, this might be just because I'm a very sappy person, but kind of the overarching theme in this film, it's very simple and, you know, kind of cliched. Some people might call it cliched. I just found it super sweet and refreshing. To me, it's definitely been the most meaningful DC Cinematic Universe film so far. I've also cared the most about these characters. Like I said, I thought Gal Gadot and Chris Pine really carried the film. They had really good chemistry together. And something that did that Batman v Superman and Man of Steel didn't have. Even though Wonder Woman was this supernatural hero, even though she was unbreakable in the sense she's almost like an Amazonian god type character, having Chris Pine's character there brought more humanity and, you know, intensity to the film. Because even though you felt, okay, you know, obviously Wonder Woman, she's not in any danger, not only because she's in later DC movies, but also she's pretty invincible. You know that Chris Pine's character is not, so I think that brought more intensity and more grit to the film. And I thought it was really sweet and really endearing, just kind of the thing that they had together, and just kind of how it played out in the finale of the film. And I will say, though, the Wonder Woman theme music, while she's just kicking ass, is It's pretty sweet, I'll give you that. I do have a few caveats though. Starting with probably the most minor one, I think it is a little long. This movie's about 2.5 hours. I was consistently entertained, and I do think it was more fast-paced than previous DC Cinematic Universe films. But I do think maybe 10-15 minutes could have been, chopped off from the running time, and it might have been a little smoother. I did also feel like at the beginning when they were on the Amazonian island, that whole sequence, I felt it was a little rushed and sort of not developed. I feel like once they actually got to London and to the war scenes, it flowed a little bit better, and that was the story that they wanted to tell. Definitely my biggest issue with this film, which is one of the problems I have had with previous DC films, is some of the action. I don't know what it is with these DC films, but they feel the need to bring in this stylized slow-motion graphic novelty type action. They definitely don't do as much of it as they did in specifically Batman v Superman, but every time they did it in this film, I was just like, ugh, just get back to normal speed. That's the fun action to see. I really don't give a frick about people spinning in the air in slow motion during action scenes. I want to see them going fast, doing cool stuff at normal speeds. So that was kind of annoying, but it was pretty minimal, so it was okay. At the end of the day, though, guys, I had a lot of fun with this movie. I remember back when I heard they were making a Wonder Woman movie, I was like, why are they making this movie? I really don't care at all. But then, they released a trailer, and I was like, that actually looks pretty good. And yeah, this is actually my favorite movie in the DC Cinematic Universe so far. Granted, that's not saying much. But I would definitely, hands down, 110% re-watch Wonder Woman again before watching Man of Steel or Batman v Superman again. Or even Suicide Squad for the first time. It was a very fun, enjoyable movie to watch. I care more about Wonder Woman now than any other character in this universe. And honestly, I didn't know anything about Wonder Woman beforehand, and now I do, so that's cool. I'm gonna give Wonder Woman a B. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please share it with other people and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please click on any of my other videos on my channel right now. But you know what you should do? You should click here to subscribe to my channel so you get updates for when I actually put out the new videos. And if you want to comment below and let me know what you think, please do. I always love hearing from you guys and knowing what your thoughts are on the matter.